Hey all, Heretic here, and today we're going to talk about the new anomalies that dropped today around 1 p.m. Eastern time, give or take, assuming they follow the same pattern they have the entire time that they've been doing this. So we're going to look at them and how we can abuse / benefit from what these might give us as things we can do so we don't drop tons of MMR because we're making silly mistakes. At this point, we're just theorizing about what they're going to be able to do, but some of these are pretty obvious, so let's jump right in. Right from the top, we're going to start with match fixing. This is guess which player will win your next combat. If you're correct, get 3 gold coins. So at first I thought this was like Barev's hero power. We're going to bet on a random fight in the lobby and that outcome was going to give us gold. But no, I read it closer and I was like, oh, you misread this one, Heretic. And it is guess which player will win your next combat. If you're correct, get 3 coins. So what this means is you can actually kind of cheese it. You can actually fix the match. You can throw on purpose to get 3 gold. And a nice example of a time to do that is on turn 3. If you want to go to 3 on 3, you go and odds are you're gonna lose and then you get 3 gold. Hey, good news for you. You don't lose. Well, you don't get 3 gold, but you don't take damage. Hey, it's a win-win. I kind of like this one. I feel like 3 on 3 is definitely going to be an angle to take, obviously depending on the hero you're playing and what the lobby looks like. But match fixing and 3 on 3 seem to go together pretty damn well and look to have some nice potential. Later in the game, obviously, it's going to be more about measuring what you remember about their board versus looking at your board, seeing how many triples they have, stuff like that. And if you're running a deck tracker, obviously you're going to have a big advantage over people who don't because you can see what their minions were last time you fought them versus someone who's just going to go completely on memory who might be screwed if it's been a couple turns. We'll see. I don't think this one's too bad. It has some nice potential with it. It's basically the same game with a little bit more economy potential. So it's not utterly broken like some of them are, and it's not so boring. It's your decisions don't matter. Next up, we have uprising. Now this one, after you upgrade the tavern, discover a tier 1 Dark Moon prize. Improves in 3 turns. So this is going to be very similar to Ticketus, where every 4 turns, the quality of Ticketus's tickets get better. And since Ticketus discovers them on turn 4, 8, 12, 16, blah, 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 you get it. It's not the same here because this time it's every time you tier. So you actually, well, they improve on set number of turns. You can tier, so you're getting better rewards. So in this case, here's one I haven't used in a while, but a warrior curve might be a good curve. This way you're going to get more of those higher quality cards when you're tiering, as opposed to doing a normal curve where you get more low quality. Now, depending on the hero and the tribes, you might want to do normal curve and not worry about this. Otherwise, you might rather get these better, more effective cards, depending where you're at and how much you feel like you can abuse the lobby. It'll be fun to play it out. This is just theorizing at this point. But obviously, the later in the game you get these tickets, the better. I don't think anyone's going to be trying to tier for the tier 4 rewards for tier 5 and 6 in the game, because that would be weird to wait that long to tier so you can get these better cards. Feels a little greedy to me. Maybe that'll be how it works out. Maybe that'll be the play in the end. We're theorizing right now. Maybe people will sit here and get some practice games and be like, oh, this is the way to do it. Nobody thought a fair reward was going to involve people staying on tier 1 for the entirety of the game for a long time, until the way that people thought it should be played was nerfed, and then people discovered this new way to play it, and now all of a sudden it was bonkers. So we'll have to see how it plays out ultimately in the end. Finally, we have Gladiator's Spoils. This one is after you win a combat, discover a minion of your tier, otherwise get a random one of a tier lower. I hate this one. And here's why I hate this one. Now, I think it's fun. I think in concept, it's cool, good time. But the person who wins more. So what do I mean? Well, if you win your first 3 fights, you're tiering, you're getting good minions and you're as a reward, and you're winning your fights. So you're not taking any damage. You're getting a better quality minion. You win more. The person who lost was already probably weak and then got a weaker minion for their reward and is left struggling even more. So if they had to fight the same person 2 turns in a row, which I know can't happen, this would put them at a decidedly huge disadvantage. And as we know, the matchmaking isn't always great turn to turn, because sometimes, yeah, you fight the guy who is weak also, and other times the entire game will fight the person in first or second place somehow. you'll go 6 turns in and you'll never see anything but first or second. And if they're winning their fights and they're getting good cards and you're losing your fights, getting shittier cards, does not feel good. I kind of feel like it should be reversed. If you win, you discover a card from a tier lower. If you lose, you get a card from the tier you're on. That way, at least there's more of a balancing and it doesn't feel like you're losing harder. It feels like, okay, at least I'm getting there. I don't know. That's just my take on it. Maybe that's not how you feel. Maybe that's naive, but I think that would be a much more enjoyable way to play the game. Also, in this lobby, Millhouse is, at least as far as I knew when this was posted, the only hero who is banned from this particular lobby. So that's it. That's this week's anomalies. What do you think? Do you love these? Do you hate these? Or do you disagree and you're like, oh, these are the best ever, or you think these are the worst ever? And why? What makes you think these are good or bad? I'm curious. I always want to know what motivates you, because I really like to learn the different opinions on this stuff. So maybe I could very much be wrong. Some of these could be the greatest that I think are the worst. I just need to be enlightened why. You need to teach me, because when I look at some of these, the Gladiator spoils, they seem fundamentally flawed to me. When I look at Uprising, there's some fun potential with this one. When I look at match fixing, okay, there's a couple cool decisions. I don't hate these, but when I look at Gladiator spoils, it feels flawed and it just doesn't feel good. Being punished for losing, being rewarded for winning is like, what? It's like, you're already getting that because you're winning. All right, I'm gonna get off this soapbox. I wanna know what you think. Let me know in the comments below, please, because I really want to know. Thanks for watching, all. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned a few things, and I hope to see you in the Battlegrounds. Until next time, have a good one. Later.